think Haaland gives us that option. But I think you asked us all the question last year, or I think the final podcast that I was on with, I think it was Paul, you said to me, Rodney was on as well, if you remember. What do you know about Haaland now at this last stage before we potentially sign him? And are you excited about him? And I think I mentioned something along the lines of, he's not just a number 9. He's quick, he's sharp, he will drift out wide, he will keep teams on their toes. They could work all week on trying to mark Haaland out of the game, work on trying to do what they've always done and stop the number 9 playing football. You're not going to do that with him. He looks... I remember Yaya Toure being called sluggish by City fans. There was times in his first couple of seasons here where I thought, why, he looked slow, doesn't he? And he had this energy conservation where he just burst into these unbelievable lung-busting runs like the one against Villa for the 4th goal in that 4-0 win. And you just never know when players like that are going to surprise you. And that's why every team that plays against us this year, their defence are going to work so hard on not just one way of dealing with Haaland, but probably 4 or 5 different scenarios in training, just so that they're fully aware of what this guy can do. And they will have to adapt. And that's only going to help us, because when they adapt, they're adapting under a coach that's obviously not as good as Pep. So they then could then suffer having changed their game plan to play us in the weeks going from that, because they've gone out of their way of playing, where we are so able to switch and change things up game by game. He's not limited us, has he, to what we can do? He's not like sent us backwards and made us play, as David was saying earlier on, up to a big Norwegian frontman that just grapples Van Dijk and pulls players' shirts. He's a lad that's got the best of both in his bones. And honestly, what a player.